Alright everyone, this is tutorial 5 of Entity Framework and MVC tutorial for beginners and is actually beginner to expert. This tutorial 5 follows from tutorial 4 and this is actually where we are. We've been able to write the action result to display a list of items. But then what happens when we create new, or when we try to view details, or when we try to edit or delete? Nothing happens because we've not written the functions to handle that. These functions are written inside the controller file and we are going to do it now. If you did not take tutorial 4, then go and do it because tutorial 5, this one, follows from tutorial 4. So let's now write the action result for the details. So what happens when we click on details? So let's go look into the controller file to now write this function. One important thing or interesting thing to know about MVC is that all the functions are similar. They have the same, they appear the same. So in this case, we have the first one says public action result index. So what happens when we visit the /person URL? It runs this function. Now, what happens when we visit the /details results? The /details link or URL. So let's just write. We have to do a get. A get means that we are trying to retrieve item /person /details is normally written this way because this ID could be any ID of any of the items. So as usual, just write it. We start writing the function in the same way, public action result. What it means, what happens when we visit the URL, what action to perform. So in this case, it will be details. All right. This keyboard is really messing up because it's a Hungarian keyboard and I'm just learning how to use it. So for us to run this function, we need a parameter. We need the ID that is clicked, the ID of the record that is clicked. So we are going to pass it into this function like this. So that is the difference between this and this. And then return view. All right. So now we are returning an empty view. Okay. So not really an empty view. We need to give this view a record to display. So we are going to, instead of using db.people.toList, we are going to use db.people.find ID. So inside this view, just say db.people.find and then passing the ID is as simple as that. So just close the last one. So this is as easy as this is very easy. Later we are going to write maybe error handling function to handle what happens when the ID is not found. But for now, this is exactly how to write the details view. So if we run this application, it's going to run, but it's going to ask us to. It is going to search for the view, and it's not going to find it. And it's going to give us an error message. So this time we allow it to run and then go to pressing. So we are going to try to click on details and then we see what happens. So click on details. So it says it's looking for details, but it doesn't find anything. All right, so let's get back in here. So what we are going to do now is to add a view, right? So we are going to add a view. So right click inside the controller and just say add view. So this time the view name is details and is going to be details. The template is going to be details and then the model class will also be person and just add it right there. So wait for a couple of seconds, it creates a view for us. So let's go and run it to see if everything works. If everything works, if we click on the details link, it's going to display the details of the record that was clicked. So it's trying to visit this URL, but we are just going to go back here. So we are going to visit it from this, so details, and it displays the details. Okay, so this. So if you check, you see that the first record is actually like the heading. So we are going to remove this. Is a record in the database that I forgot to remove. But for now, the main thing is, you know now what happens when you click on details. It displays the details of the record that is clicked. So in the controller file, this line of code is what is happening. Is what is running when you click on that link. It says db.people.find, displays the details of that particular record that was found. Let's now write the method or the function for create or for add new. So what happens when somebody goes to try to add new record? If somebody wants to add new record, he says /person/create. It means he's trying to create a new record. So just say public action results create, right? So we don't need any parameter. So in this case, we are going to return view. So this is how simple this is. So what happens here is when the user clicks on create or add new record, it returns an empty view without any record. It simply displays a blank form with field for first name, last name, and all the fields in the model. So just right click for us to add the view. Just right click and say add view. View name is create. The template at this point is going to be create, and then the model class is the same model class, and then we are going to add. So at this point is going to scaffold. Scaffold means creating a new item. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to run it. So at this point, if we click on add new or create new, it's going to display an empty form. Remember to subscribe if you've not subscribed, because actually I'm encouraged when people subscribe to my channel. So okay, so let's get back to list so that we make sure everything works. So now this is the create new, and then create new, it displays an empty form. Okay, so if we go back to list, we have details working, we have create new working, then we have, but we don't have edit working, we don't have delete working. We also don't have a code that will run when this button is clicked. So in the next tutorial, we are going to write the code for edit and then delete. Remember to subscribe, and I would like to thank you for viewing. See you in the next tutorial.